Hello and welcome to another Premier League review on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzy and I'm your host for today's show. What a week it's been in the Premier League. Liverpool defeat a tough opposition in Chelsea, with the result being 2-1 to remain at the top of the table. City scraped through a win in the dying moments as they beat Wolves 2-1. Big surprise of the week was the result of Bournemouth versus Arsenal as they defeated Arsenal 2-0. Plus, many more results to discuss as we review all the games in Match Week 8. But before we do, this episode is also a calling show. So if you'd like to come on and have your say, a link has been pinned in the live chat. So feel free to join and I'll get you on later on the show. So let's begin with the match at the Vitality Stadium. A lot of Arsenal fans had chest, thinking this game was going to be a walk in the park. Well, that's not exactly how it worked out now, did it? The Cherries were victorious and defeated Arsenal 2-0 at Vitality Stadium. The turning point of the game happened in the first half as Evanilson is brought down by Saliba on the counter-attack. The French defender was the last man. Arguably, could have gone either way, with the position of where he was sent off. It was around the halfway line. He did originally receive a yellow card, but after VAR reviewed the incident, they thought it was worthy of a red. Definitely the right decision for me in the end, but we have to ask that question, what on earth was Saliba doing? He didn't have to drag Evanilson down like that, even though Evanilson was clear and a couple of yards ahead of Saliba. I feel like Saliba could have still caught up with him, as Evanilson had a lot of work to do in order to try and drive with the ball and convert the finish on goal. Pressure from Saliba, for me, could have stopped Evanilson from scoring. But I guess we'll never know, as he made a big mistake. And that red card means a 3-match ban. That also means he misses next week's big encounter against Liverpool, which is great news for the Reds. Summer signing Marino tried to respond with a left-footed effort, but he drags the shot wide. Semenyo has a fantastic chance to equalize in the second half, but his half volley goes over the bar. Kepa, he gives the ball away to present Arsenal with another attack on goal. Martinelli is through and tries to place it in the bottom corner, but Kepa does fantastically well to make up for his mistake with a great save. Then moments later, Bournemouth break the deadlock through a fantastic strike from Cook, who smashes it into the top corner. And Bournemouth are given a chance to extend their lead as Evanilson was fouled by David Raya in the box. But in the end, Justin Kluivert steps up for the penalty and hits it nicely into the bottom corner. Fantastic victory for Bournemouth, and they thoroughly deserved it. Arsenal, on the other hand, I can't lie, this is a huge blow for the Gunners. This defeat will be a hard one for them to take. And to make it worse, they'll be facing Liverpool next week, who are flying right now at the top of the table. If Liverpool get the victory next week, it will extend their lead even further. And even at this early stage of the season, psychologically, that could have an effect on Arsenal's title challenge. Speaking of Liverpool, let's move on to the next fixture. Here we go. As you can see, the scoreline, Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1. What a game this ended up being on Sunday. Some people said if Chelsea won this game, they should be regarded as title contenders. Well, they can sit back down now because it's not their time yet. Let's talk about the key moments of the game. In the first half, Chelsea could have easily have had a man sent off as Tosin fouls Jota on the counter-attack. Tosin was actually given a yellow card for that incident, but honestly speaking, it could easily have been a red. As I just mentioned about Saliba's incident, it was pretty much a carbon copy. They were in the same sort of position of the pitch. For me, he got away with it. And that's one big thing that us fans ask for with referees. They need to be consistent with their decisions. One match, a player got sent off in a similar position and one player didn't. So, yeah, I think he got lucky there, to be honest with you. Chelsea were very close to breaking the deadlock after that, as Cole Palmer goes through on goal, was about to pull the trigger inside the box. But Curtis Jones makes a fantastic interception to block the Chelsea attacker. I think Curtis Jones was involved moments later in the other end as Mohamed Salah takes a shot that hits the back of Curtis Jones. He rotates his body, tries to face the ball, but Cole fouls him from behind in the penalty box. Terrible tackle from the Chelsea defender who looked surprised and bewildered by that decision, but it was the right call from the referee. Mohamed Salah steps up for the penalty and smashes it into the corner to give Liverpool the lead. Liverpool should have extended the lead moments later as they hit Chelsea on the counter-attack. Lovely pass from Salah to Gakpo. And that pass from Salah was with the outside of his foot. Gakpo hits a first-time pass towards Szoboszlai, who's through on goal. Unfortunately, his team effort is straight at the keeper. He seemed a bit off balance before that shot. But for me, he should have buried it. A huge opportunity to add another goal to the tally. Liverpool have a penalty shout as Curtis Jones is through on goal. Chelsea goalkeeper Sanchez comes sliding in and completely takes Jones out. He ends up doing a 360 front flip. For me, that is a penalty. Some will argue and say Sanchez got the ball first before Jones ended up doing a flip. But if you look at the angle from behind, it is very clear that Jones kicks the ball through his legs. So in my opinion, the keeper didn't get enough of the ball to suggest that he blocked that attack completely. His clumsy effort completely swiped out Curtis Jones clean. And for me, Liverpool should have been awarded with a second penalty. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. I think for Curtis Jones, if he had shot with a bit more power, then I think the outcome would have been different because it wasn't quite clear-cut in terms of was it a shot or was he just trying to pass it through the goalkeeper's leg. I think he was inviting that challenge to come more than anything else, and that may have swayed the ref's decision. But having said that, I still think it was a penalty for Liverpool. Moments later, Cole Palmer has a late chance before half-time as he hits a shot from the inside of the box, but his effort goes over the bar. For me, probably should have done better there. A huge opportunity to hit the target, but Konate's sliding effort to block the shot may have put him off a little bit there. In the second half, Chelsea started the game very positively as Nicholas Jackson hits the back of the net with a very neat finish. It seemed offside at first, but after VAR reviewed it, it was clear that Konate kept him onside and the goal was rightfully rewarded. But Liverpool wasted no time to respond, and it was Curtis Jones who took charge and added another goal to the tally. Lovely pass from Mohamed Salah to pick Jones out. His first touch was slightly heavy, but Curtis Jones does fantastically well to hit a shot with the outside of his foot to extend the lead to 2-1. Liverpool tried to add another one through Cody Gakpo, but his shot was high and wide. Lovely pass again from Salah with his through ball. But then Chelsea, they certainly showed moments later in the game to try and get the equaliser. Madueke has a shot with his right foot, but he hits it straight at Kelleher. Cole Palmer also has a shot from the inside of the box. Similar to the first half moment where Curtis Jones blocked his effort, this time it was Szoboszlai who did the same thing. Pedro Neto, who just came on as a second half sub, drives infield and gets past Trent Alexander-Arnold, takes a shot with his right foot, but unfortunately for him, drags it wide. Szoboszlai, wasteful day in possession. Diaz, who also came off the bench, makes an instant impact, has a shot from the edge of the box, a routine save for the goalkeeper in the near post. And at that stage, you're thinking maybe Liverpool and Chelsea get a few minutes of added time. We end up getting 7 minutes, which was ludicrous. No idea where that number came from. Chelsea were probably uplifted by the number of minutes added. Almost got the equaliser in the 92nd minute through Renato Vega's close range header, but he unfortunately for Chelsea hits it over the bar. Luis Diaz has one final attack with a shot from the edge of the box, but his effort is sliced and goes way off the mark. Overall, a great win for the Reds. Some may say it's a statement win for the neutrals who didn't consider Liverpool a threat for the title. Maybe their view has changed after this result. From a Liverpool fan's point of view, I found the game very frustrating to watch. The ref was absolutely shocking in this game. He was literally giving away cards to Liverpool players like Christmas has arrived early. Even if the ref potentially, or should I say, being Chelsea's 12th man, they still couldn't defeat the Reds. Liverpool remain at the top of the table and they face Arsenal this week in match week 9. And what an encounter we have on the table there. Now, in terms of the next fixture, Wolves versus Man City. As you can see in the scoreline, it took another John Stones last-minute winner to rescue a win for City as they beat Wolves 2-1. But it was the home team that took the lead first as Semedo hits a fantastic low cross in the danger zone. Strand Larsen applies a calm left-footed finish to open the score sheet. Jose Sa pulls off a fantastic save moments later to deny Bernardo Silva. Wolves hit City with a counter-attack as Cunha hits a through ball towards Semedo. The fullback is driving with the ball through the middle, but wasn't able to release the shot as he kept on running and running, but with no end product. Had that been another attacker, I think that would have been a goal. A missed opportunity, unfortunately, for Wolves to extend the lead as City responded with the equaliser moments later. Gvardiol hits a fantastic right-footed shot into the top corner to equal the score. What a strike that was from the defender. Kevin De Bruyne would have been proud of that effort. Speaking of Gvardiol, I've always rated him as a player, but in a City shirt, he impresses me more and more. His level of play has been elevated since joining the club and playing under Pep Guardiola. Before, he was just a straight-up left-sided centre-back. Now he's playing left-back, and he's making that position his own. In the game, Jose Sa, he was certainly kept busy as he made a number of saves in the second half. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to deny City in the end. Phil Foden takes the corner kick and John Stone leaps in the air and heads the ball into the goal in the 95th minute. There was a VAR check as Bernardo Silva seems to be nudging the goalkeeper in the build-up. And it's also a case that Jose Sa's view was obstructed by Silva when the header occurred. And I have to be honest, I think the Wolves were robbed and should have walked away with at least a point. It was blatantly obvious what Bernardo Silva was doing, and he timed it very well to put Jose Sa off his game. But for VAR to review it and still award City the goal for me is outrageous. That replay the referee was viewing on the monitor only presented the outcome rather than what was happening before the goal had taken place. So the obstruction from Silva, that wasn't shown on the screen. And it was just showing Bernardo Silva kneeling down to avoid any contact on the ball. So for me, City were very lucky to get that goal. And for me, that match should have ended in a 1-1 result. Wolves, very disappointingly, will feel like they should have at least got a point. And I feel like they should have as well. They defended fantastically well and deserved something from the game. But fortunately, nothing came out of it. City remain in second place, 1 point behind Liverpool. On to the next fixture, which is a big scoreline there. 5-goal thriller, a huge win for Tottenham as they beat Hammers 4-1. But it was the Hammers that took the lead. Mohamed Kudus hits a right-footed shot and finds the back of the net. Not the cleanest of strikes, but hey, I don't think he would care less at that moment of time. Spurs equalize through Kulusevski, who shoots from the edge of the box, and the ball hits both posts before eventually rolling past the goal line. Bissouma then makes it 2-1 with a nicely placed shot into the goal. Todibo, unfortunately, conceded an own goal for West Ham as Son's shot is saved by Areola, but it then rebounds off the defender and rolls into the goal. Heung-min Son finally gets on the score sheet as he drives down the left flank, cuts in, does about 3 step overs, and then applies a fantastic left foot strike that goes past Areola. West Ham's goal scorer, Mohamed Kudus, got a bit heated, to say the least, in the latter stage of the game, as he ends up squaring up to Van der Ven, pushes his face, which you'd probably expect a red card, but luckily he only received a yellow. But then VAR reviewed the incident further and also noticed that he shoved Pape Sarr moments after that foul. So he got his marching orders, and West Ham were down to 10 men. Not that it made any difference to the result, as the damage was done. And that win puts Spurs up to 7th place in the table. So a big win for the North London side. Next fixture, Manchester United versus Brentford. Looks like Ten Hag will remain as Manchester United manager for a little bit longer now, as his side managed to grab the win against Brentford. United were down to 10 men, but only for a brief moment, as De Ligt suffered a cut on his head. So the ref ordered him to leave the pitch in order to seek medical attention. Brentford had just won a corner kick, and they definitely capitalised, as Pinnock finds himself in the 6-yard box and thumps a header into the back of the net to open the score sheet. Poor defending from United, as Pinnock was pretty much a free man there. Manchester United then equalised through a great finish by Garnacho, but for me, Rashford deserves all the credit, as he whipped in an inch-perfect pass and pretty much put on the plate for the Argentine winger there. Manchester United then found the equaliser in the 62nd minute, and what a finish it was from Rasmus Højlund. Fernandes lays it off for the Danish striker, who's through on goal and dinks the ball beautifully into the back of the net. That secured the win for the Red Devils. United are now 12th in the league, but still in the bottom half of the table. In other games, Fulham versus Aston Villa. This game was absolute chaos, to say the least. Jimenez opens the scoreline for Fulham with a nice clinical finish, posting in to make it 1-0. Villa then equalised with a lucky goal from Rodgers, who hits a shot outside the box, but it takes a huge deflection to roll into the back of the net. Fulham are then awarded with a penalty as Matty Cash handballs it inside the box. Pereira steps up, but unfortunately hits it straight at the keeper. What a terrible penalty from the midfielder. Ollie Watkins then extends the lead for Villa with a fantastic header from a corner kick. Watkins thought he was going to make it 3-1 after he goes through on goal, but Anderson makes a silly challenge from behind, which ended up being costly as he gets a straight red. Villa then end up making it 3-1, but it was through an Issa Diop own goal. Not a great day in the office for Fulham, who have been in great form this season. If they had scored that penalty, it could possibly have changed the outcome of the game. Another win for the Villains, who remain in 4th place. Next fixture. Look at the goals we've got here. Southampton 2, Leicester 3. 5-goal thriller at St Mary's Stadium, but unfortunately for Southampton, they are still unable to register their first win of the season, despite being 2-0 up in the first half. They took the lead through a Cameron Archer tap-in. Then Aribo extends the lead to make it 2-0 with a nice left-footed finish. But in the second half, everything changed and Leicester produced a comeback. Buonanotte scores first for the Foxes with a neat finish. Great wing play there from Fatawao. Fatawao almost gets on the score sheet himself with a header on goal. Ramsdale parries it away. But after that moment, it looked like Vardy was on the verge of scoring a tap-in, but the ball was cleared away, which seemed a bit odd at the time. VAR reviewed the incident, and the replay shows that Fraser was holding him back before he took the shot, so he gets a straight red. Vardy steps up and absolutely smashes it into the top bin to make it 2-2. And in the 90th minute, Leicester grabbed the winner through an IU finish. One unbelievable end to the game, and well done to the Foxes for showing persistence and never giving up. The next fixture, Newcastle versus Brighton. All good things come to an end, unfortunately, and that's exactly what happened in this fixture, as Brighton ended Newcastle's unbeaten home run. Newcastle definitely showed a fight in this game, as they created an abundance of chances throughout the game. Isaac was probably the closest to scoring with his one-on-one effort, but it was the veteran striker, Danny Welbeck, who ended up scoring the winning goal for the Seagulls. Great 1-2 with Rutter on the right side. Welbeck is through on goal, and he clinically finishes it into the bottom corner. Newcastle, after that, through the kitchen sink and created a number of chances to equal the score. Unfortunately, they were unable to do so, and it just simply wasn't their day. Credit to Brighton, who have been in great form and look like a very difficult team to beat. They've moved up to 5th place in the league, only a couple of points away from Villa, who are in 4th position. Next fixture, Ipswich Town versus Everton. Ipswich Town were unable to use their home advantage as they were beaten 2-0 by the Toffees. Summer signing, and they thumps one hell of a shot that rattles the back of the net to give Everton the lead. Everton then make it 2-0, and what an unbelievable strike from defender Michael Keane in a very tight angle, and on his left foot, he smashes the ball into the roof of the net like a prime striker there. Ipswich Town tried to get back into the game, but didn't really create any clear-cut chances. So unfortunately for the Tractor Boys, they are still looking for their first win of the season. And speaking of first wins, Palace were unable to claim theirs today as they lost to Forest 1-0 earlier this evening. The winning goal came from Chris Wood, who scored from the edge of the box. But I have to be honest, that was a poor save from the Palace goalkeeper, Henderson. For me, he should have done a lot better and should have parried that ball away. And unfortunately, that mistake has cost his team a result. And for Chris Wood, that's his 5th goal of the season. What a great start to his campaign, as he's been in scintillating form for Forest. So that is the end of our match week 8 review. At this stage, I'm unable to announce our FPL Manager week, as the scores haven't been updated due to the Forest and Palace game just being completed this evening. But what I'll do is I will mention the winner of this week in next week's episode. Before we do, just go through some of the comments here. Comment here from Daz says, "Big up Ozzy." Big up Daz, thank you for your comment. And he's also comment asking, could Jota be bad Ozzy as he's 50% fit? If he's 50% fit, I personally wouldn't risk him anytime soon. I'd probably rest him for the fixtures that we have coming up against Red Bull Leipzig and see, what's at stage he is in terms of his fitness, and maybe utilize him in the Arsenal game. Even if he's not fully fit, maybe have him on the bench as an impact sub. But yeah, we have to manage his fitness this season. If he's injured, I wouldn't want to rush him back. Darwin Núñez came on against Chelsea and for me did really well. So it's not like we don't have the players that can do a job, in the short term. So for me, if he's 50%, I wouldn't risk him anytime soon. So remains to be seen in terms of the status of his injury right now. Hopefully it'll be good news in the coming days. Before we wrap up the show, what I'll do is I will review the upcoming fixtures in the Premier League in match week 9, and I'll also give you my predictions. So let's do that for you guys now. So here it is. Here are the fixtures. The first fixture is actually taking place this Friday. So FPL fans, one thing to note there, that you need to update your team on the Friday rather than a Saturday. So Leicester will be facing Nottingham Forest. Leicester just won a crazy game over the weekend against Southampton, winning 3-2. Forest just got the win today. So both teams in good form. In terms of this fixture, I'm going to go for a Leicester win, and I'm going to predict a 2-1 result. Aston Villa versus Bournemouth. I'm going to go for a Villa win. I think it'll be 2-0 to Villa. Brentford versus Ipswich Town. Brentford obviously lost to United. Ipswich Town still trying to find their first win of the season. Unfortunately, they're going to keep looking, in my opinion, as I believe Brentford will win 2-0 in this fixture as well. Brighton versus Wolves. I think Brighton have been in fantastic form, and this will be continued into this fixture. So I'm predicting a 3-0 result for Brighton. Man City versus Southampton, 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. Yeah, this is going to be a walk in the park, to say the least. I'm going to predict a 4-0 scoreline for City. Everton versus Fulham. I think this game will end up as a draw, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 score prediction. And in terms of the Sunday fixtures, got quite a few, to be fair. Chelsea versus Newcastle, that's a good game to watch. I think this game might have some goals. I think it's going to be a draw, and I'm going to go for a 2-2 result. Palace versus Spurs at Selhurst Park. I would love for Palace to win this fixture, but unfortunately, I don't think they will. I think it will be a 2-1 victory for Spurs. West Ham face Manchester United. West Ham haven't had the best of starts to their season. Kudus is probably suspended for this fixture as well. Do I see an upset here? I don't, to be honest with you. But I don't even see a United win. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And the big game taking place this Sunday. Arsenal versus Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium. Not a surprise because obviously I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm going to go for an away win, and I think it will be 2-1 to Liverpool. The suspension of Saliba will definitely be a huge defining factor, I think, in this fixture. So I'm going to give Liverpool the edge. And that is the final fixture, and that also wraps up the show. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you to Daz for your comments. Appreciate your engagement as always. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. In terms of upcoming content, I've literally got one coming up in about half an hour. So I'll be doing FC25 live show at 11:30 p.m. UK time. I've started a Liverpool manager career mode. So today will be episode 4. So if you're free, why not tune in and watch me play with my Liverpool team. I bought quite a few players in the transfer window, so hopefully that should bolster my chances of winning some cups during that campaign. In terms of other content this week, so tomorrow I'll be doing a match preview of Red Bull Leipzig versus Liverpool, which is obviously a Champions League fixture. And then on Wednesday, I'll be doing a live watch along of that game, plus a match reaction later in the evening. And then on Thursday, I'll be doing a match preview of Arsenal versus Liverpool. And then I'll also be doing a live watch along on Sunday with a match reaction in the same evening. So lots of content coming your way, guys. So please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, hit the notification bell so you are aware what time I'll be going live. Yes, and that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.